haven't spotted him. But he will.
We see him leaving.
I said.
No, could probably do that jump and then.
Well, all good things do come to an end. All good things do come to an end, and Hampton and Richmond's best winning run in over 5 years was brought to a halt in a goalless draw to Tunbridge Angels on Tuesday night. Mel Gwinnett said the players were disappointed with the result, which demonstrates just how far the Beavers have come in recent weeks. The last 10 games have seen Hampton and Richmond win 7, draw 2 and lose just once. As a result, we're now mixing it with the big players in the National League South, and today it's 4th versus 5th as Hampton and Richmond welcome Maidstone United to Beverley Stadium. I'm Jackson Cole, and joining us is Laura Howard and Jonny Luter. Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking, Jackson.
I'm good, thank you, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm glad the weather's been much better than it was at Dover when I was last commentator for Hampton and Richmond. That was not nice, but we got the win. And Jonny, you were at Tunbridge Angels on Tuesday night. I think the weather must have been a little bit better there.
Well, it was a bit. It was drier, but it was a little bit of mist descending in on Tunbridge that evening. But obviously that one we only drew in that game.
Okay, well there goes our weather report for the day. I'll take you through both sets of teams at the beginning of this broadcast, starting with the visitors. Maidstone United. In goal is Lucas Coverlan. Then there's George Fowler, Rafe Brown, Razak Colmand-Graft, who is ex-Hampton and Richmond, Sam Corn, the captain, Sol Wanjao Smith, Lamar Reynolds, Devonte Arancibia, Sam Bone, Matt Rush and Bivesh Gurung. The substitutes are Harley Earl, Ogo Obi, Levi Amanchi, Riley Court and Michael Petrasso. And as for the Beavers, there are 2 changes from that goalless draw at Tunbridge Angels on Tuesday night. George Hunt and Dan Wishart coming in for Conor Curran-Brown and the suspended Dean Inman. The full team news is Amde Bois in goal, then Jordan Thomas, Rory Donaldson, Luis Fernandez, Ben Seymour, Jake Gray, Sam Deadfield, George Hunt, Dan Wishart, Isaac Pitblado and Mason Bloomfield. The substitutes are Jordan Cheadle, Rob Hall, Alfie Whittingham, Alex Solomon and Conor Curran-Brown, and the referee today is Michael Robertson Tant, and his assistants are Rudin Precker and Stephen Ray. So, well, George Hunt is one of the players starting, and I thought we could talk a bit about him because he's really played his way into the team of late. He came on against Tunbridge, had a really good impact, as you saw, Jonny.
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough to be there on Tuesday night, and it was a really well-earned point, I thought, for Hampton and Richmond. Tunbridge defended superbly, but then so did we. But on balance in that game, Tunbridge had most of the possession, but Hampton and Richmond had the most chances in the fixture to come away with potentially all 3 points there. And George Hunt, I thought he did have the best opportunity of the game, and the shot did go straight at the keeper. But all round, Jackson, it was a very good performance by Hampton and Richmond.
And he's really forging a good understanding with the likes of Sam Deadfield and Jake Gray in the middle of the park. Hunt, he was signing in the summer. He's previously at Slough Town, made over 50 appearances in the National League South, even though he is still 22 years old. Yeah, got my notes there. I was either 21 or 22. The other change in the starting 11, no Dean Inman after that red card he picked up at Dover in the win over Dover. We don't know for sure who's going to be playing in his position because Jordan Cheadle is on the bench. That you'd think that would be the most logical route. So I'm wondering if either of you have figured out who it could be at centre back. Perhaps Dan Wishart.
Yeah, looking at it, I think there's a couple of options. Perhaps Dan Wishart. I think you've also got Donaldson and maybe slots in the back line, does he? But that would maybe move Wishart closer into that middle pairing.
I think that's probably a good hunch to have Dan Wishart in at centre back, but we'll only know at kick-off time.
Yeah, I think with Dan Wishart, you have to say, he is really strong on the ball, and obviously I would fancy him to play in that position today. I know it's not his most ideal position, but just based on his strength alone, I think you'd fancy him in that position. Just
another little note about the Hampton Richmond team. You might notice there's no George Nunn in the squad. He picked up, I was having a word with him a little bit before the game, and he picked up a little injury in training on Thursday night. I think it was a little collision with one of the goalkeepers, so we will have to wait for his debut for Hampton and Richmond. We could talk a bit about their opponents for today. Maidstone United, they are 1 position behind us, 1 point behind us in 5th at the moment, and they've had themselves a pretty good FA Cup draw.
Yeah, no, so they've drawn Barrow in the second round of the FA Cup. So, I mean, for a non-league side, I mean, to get to the second round of the Cup is such a triumphant achievement. And I wish Maidstone United all the best going forward. I mean, to draw against the League Two side Barrow, who Barrow not too long ago were in the National League, if I recall there. But they've had a really good run. Sadly, Hampton and Richmond didn't have such a good run in the FA Cup this season, but it's great to see other teams in this division making it to the first and second round proper, and I can only wish them all the very best, Jackson.
Mm-hmm. And their manager, George Elacobi, that might be a familiar name to those of you who are not old but experienced football fans like myself. He's best known for his time playing for Wolves. He was a left back back in the day. He was there at Wolves for 6 years or so. He's been the manager of Maidstone United since March. He was the appointed caretaker boss in January. It was in the season when Maidstone did finish bottom of the National League by, well, quite some distance, but they're certainly one of the big players in this division now. Yeah,
I think one thing else to note at the moment is Maidstone United have played less games than us, and they've only lost 2 so far this season and drawn 2, I believe. So Maidstone are certainly a very good outfit, and I do think this afternoon this will be a really big test for Hampton and Richmond, and based on the current form for Hampton and Richmond, this could possibly be one of the best times we could play them.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Maidstone are in very similar form to Hampton and Richmond. They are unbeaten in their last 7 league outings, so but you've got to back ourselves at home, haven't you? We've got a very good crowd at the Bev.
Yeah, absolutely, and also I would just say, we haven't played at home here since Torquay United, so the pitch still had a nice amount of time to get ready, and it's all fresh, ready to go, because I know, especially, Laura, you were at Dover. From what I heard with the torrential rain, the pitch was a bit of a tricky to play on.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't ideal circumstances. I'm not sure, though, the ball was running as smoothly as you would have liked. I don't think the pitch itself was great without the rain, and the added conditions certainly didn't help to it. Didn't lead to very attractive football being able to be played, really, and certainly was a bit of trench warfare out there, but it was an interesting game, and we managed to get the 3 points, which was all that mattered in that one.
Yeah, it wasn't very pretty, the football, but it was a very good finish by our captain, Jake Gray, on the hour. From where we were sat, it looked like it was a perfectly good goal, but from what I hear, perhaps there was a hint of offside. But fortunately, in this situation, we do not have video assistant referee. That was Jake Gray's 2nd goal of the season.
VAR hasn't trickled its way down the divisions yet to get to the National League South.
And you know what, with all the problems we're experiencing at the elite level of the game, it might be quite some time before we see it in the National League South. So we are still waiting for both teams to come out, and while we do that, we'll have a look at Maidstone United's danger man, who is on the bench, rather surprisingly. It's Levi Amanchi, already scored 9 goals in the National League South this season, which makes him the 2nd highest scorer in the division this season. I think, Jonny, you've been well, we live together, me and Jonny, and I know you've been fretting a bit about the threat of Amanchi.
No, absolutely no. I mean, already there's been a lot of hype around Levi Amanchi, and obviously, where you say, Jack, he's already bagged quite a lot of goals this season already for Maidstone United. So he is certainly one to look out for this afternoon. But like you say, Jackson, he is on the bench so far this afternoon, but I'm sure there is no doubt he will make an appearance this afternoon at some stage.
It's quite an interesting one that he's on the bench, and you look at that FA Cup run, and which is obviously a big bringer of money at this level, a really, really huge competition for Maidstone. And do you think there could be a possibility of resting, or do we just think he's a danger man off the bench? He's one of those impact subs that comes on.
I think that's quite a good point you raise, Laura. Just thinking about, well, at Hampton and Richmond, Conacher and Brown the last few games has been on the bench, and then he's made an immediate impact coming off as both teams now make their way onto the pitch. Maidstone are wearing an all gold strip, while Hampton and Richmond are wearing their navy strip, navy shirt, navy shorts and navy socks. So they're wearing some very smart looking tracksuit tops over the top, but I'm sure we'll see them any moment. Just to remind you of the teams for both sides. For Maidstone United, it's Lucas Coverlan in goal, then George Fowler, Rafe Brown, Razak Coleman Graft, Sam Korn, Sol Wanjao Smith, Lamar Reynolds, Devonte Aaron Sibia, number 15 Sam Bone, Matt Rush, and then Bivesh Gurung. Substitutes are Harley Earl, Ogo Obi, Levi Manchi, Riley Court and Michael Petrasso. And as for Hampton and Richmond, it's in goal Adam Desbois, then John Thomas, Rory Donaldson, Luis Fernandez, Ben Seymour, Jake Gray, Sam Deadfield, George Hunt, Dan Wishart, Isaac Pipolado and Mason Bloomfield. The substitutes are Jordan Cheadle, Rob Hall, Alfie Whittingham, Alex Solomon and Connor Curran Brown.
And on the bench, number 6, Jordan Cheadle, number 7, Rob Hall, number 8, Alfie Whittingham, number 16, Alex Solomon.
You may hear our media manager Louis Fell reading out the teams as well. What a mighty fine job he's doing. Now, it is, of course, the 11th of November, so before kick-off there will be a period silence to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
We shall now engage in a short act of remembrance. This is a time to reflect on all those who lost their lives in conflict. Think also of those who still bear the scars of war, and family and friends who mourn the loss of someone they love. Following the playing of the last post, we shall observe a period of silence. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Thank you all very much.
A period of silence impeccably observed at the Bev. So we are moments away from kickoff of this, I want to say high stakes National League South encounter, because it is 4th against 5th. Only 1 point separates the two sides at kickoff. Hampton Richmond will want to extend their unbeaten run, even though the winning run did come to an end on Tuesday. The players just doing their final warm-ups. The captain for Hampton Richmond, Jake Gray, and Maidstone captain Sam Corn just doing the coin toss with the referee. I'm sure Gray will look to kick towards the Keith Hussey stand in the first half, especially with the sun in the way with the at the stand at the Alan Simpson OBE stand. Quick predictions for the game?
No, I do. No, do you know what? I think this is going to be a really good game, because Maidstone United's in fantastic form, just like Hampton and Richmond are. We haven't been beaten since Yeovil at home. I think it's going to be really tough encounter for both sides. Hampton and Richmond are not going to make it easy for Maidstone United, that is for sure. And Hampton and Richmond will give Maidstone United a really good go, I think. So it's almost quite difficult to call, Jackson, if I'm really honest with you. But I'd have to say, based on Hampton and Richmond's current form, we could beat anyone in this division at the moment.
How about you, Laura?
Yeah, I agree with what Johnny's saying, and I think if we have to pick a score, I'm going to go with a very tense 2-1 win.
I like the optimism, and it will be Hampton and Richmond who kick the game off. Jake Gray is stood over the ball. Hampton and Richmond are kicking towards the Keith Hussey stand. Referee just doing his final checks, and off we go. Hampton Richmond against Maidstone United in the National League South. Fernandez plays it long towards Donaldson, who did get a touch on it, but it has got out for a throw-in to Maidstone about midway into their half. It's Sam Deadfield on the ball. He's done very well to get past a couple of players. It's now with Donaldson, who plays Deadfield in down the channel, but it's number 5, George Fowler, who read that situation and won the ball ahead of Deadfield. And now the visitors have it with number 18, Bivesh Gurung, plays it long towards Matt Rush. The ball is cut out, but Maidstone have won it back. It's with number 9, Wanjao Smith, up against Dan Wishart. Wishart does very well. It's a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond, and well, it looks like it's Isaac Pitblado who's playing at centre-back. Dan Wishart is in his usual left-back slot, and I must say we've seen Isaac Pitblado play in a more advanced left-wing role, but never at centre-back, so that surprises me a bit.
Yeah, no, I feel the same, Jackson. I wouldn't have expected that person. Obviously, before kickoff, that is not part of what we predicted. But I think I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on in that position.
Dan Seymour is in here, inside the box. He does just check his run on the left-hand side. He now makes a cross. Drew Donaldson. And it's a bit of a bizarre clearance. It was kicked towards, well, Sam Corner. It hit his head and went straight out for a corner. And that was actually quite a big chance for Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah, it just rolled across the penalty box. You just thought one of the players would have been able to get a touch on it and just literally smack it straight in the back of the net. But sadly not on this occasion, but Hampton and Richmond have a corner.
Yep, it'll be taken on the right-hand side. Sam Deadfield is the one stood over it. Jake Gray is offering as an option short. I don't think Deadfield is going to use him. He swings it in. And it's met by Ben Seymour. He almost inadvertently cleared it away. Maidstone have cleared their lines now. It's with Rush, but it's well intercepted by Wishart. There's a free kick there. Deadfield penalised for a challenge on Sam Corn. And I think Deadfield had a little too much to say to the referee, Michael Robertson-Tant. So just going to be a quick word with him. Yeah, just going back to that chance for Rory Donaldson.
Yeah, it's temptingly close. It looked like it was there on a plate for him to put his boot through it, but it wasn't quite. It was almost like he'd just not noticed it quite in time, and it just rolled past him and temptingly into space that no one was there to occupy.
Yeah. It's one of those runs where he needed to gamble, but I just don't think he was expecting it, so that's why he didn't quite latch onto it, because if he did, it would have been a certain goal. The ball is headed on by a Maidstone player, but Hampton Richmond have it back. Ball is given away. It's now with Gurung. Well tackled there by a backtracking Mason Bloomfield. Both sides. Well, there's a long ball played towards Rush, and he barges Pip Lardo off the ball illegally, though, because it was a nudge in the back, so it's a free kick to Hampton and Richmond.
Also not to forget, Maidstone United were winners of this division 2 seasons ago. So Maidstone United certainly know their way to the summits of the table. So Maidstone United, of course, know how to grind out a win in any situation.
Second straight start for Isaac Pip Lardo, who started at Tunbridge on Tuesday night. Now is Rue Donaldson on the ball, crosses it in early, and it's way too high for Ben Seymour, and Jake Gray isn't able to retrieve it on the overlap, so it is a throw-in to Maidstone United. Pip Lardo, he also came on for Dan Wishart in the first half at Dover, and he was really he settled into the game really well, and now he's got to settle in to this new role at centre back. The referee has asked Adam Desbois to change shirt, I think, because of the sunlight and Desbois' yellow top. The referee can't see him, or fears that the other players won't be able to see him, so Desbois has binned his yellow shirt and is now wearing his orange top.
I think that's fair enough, actually, and now I see it, I can totally see Maidstone United's complaint there, and I think that's absolutely fair enough. I mean, but you can't change the shorts though. But
no, from a fashion standpoint, it's an absolute disaster. Orange and yellow do not mix at all when it comes to clothing combinations. But anyway, enough of that. We're back to the footballs. Good play by Sam Deadfield to win the ball off 2 Maidstone players. One of the Maidstone players is down. It's Wanjao Smith, but play does continue. It's a ball played towards Gray. It's cut out by a Maidstone defender. Hampton Richmond do have it back with Hunt. Plays it to Deadfield. Didn't quite find Bloomfield. Good header by Rush to Wanjao Smith. And he plays it back to number 11, Devante Arancibia. Arancibia has it back, about midway into the Hampton Richmond half. Now it's with Gurung. Now Sam Bone has it. He plays it all the way back to Fowler. Now it's on the right-hand side, about 5 yards into Maidstone's half. Maidstone getting plenty of possession over the last minute. Now it's played long, but it's headed away by Fernandez. A good play by Seymour to play it to Hunt, who is advancing into the Maidstone half. Good skill by Jake Gray, but he is forced to go a bit backwards, so he plays it outright to Jordan Thomas. Good ball inside to Bloomfield, and he plays it off to Jake Gray. Looks to find Rory Donaldson, but it is intercepted by Rafe Brown.
That was a little opportunity there, potentially, just to open your body up and crack a shot at goal, but Gray opting to pass the ball out wide.
There's a good tackle there by Luis Fernandez on Matt Rush, because Maidstone were building quite a rapid attack, but Fernandez was there to stop it at source in the Hampton and Richmond half. It is a throw-in to Maidstone, which has now been taken. Now it's with Bone. He clips it long in the direction of Wanjao Smith, but Thomas is there to snuff it out. It's good pressing by Wanjao Smith to prevent Thomas from clearing his lines, and it is actually a throw-in to the away side deep into Hampton Richmond's half. It's been taken now, played back to number 15, Bone. He crosses it in, headed away by Fernandez. Bloomfield then gets first to that second ball. Gray punts it high towards the halfway line, headed away by a Maidstone defender and Luis Fernandez. Just a bit of head tennis going on in that middle third of the pitch. It's now on the floor with Sam Deadfield. He clips it out left to Dan Wishart. The ball just ran under his feet rather. Ooh. Good flick by Mason. Great skill by Ben Seymour. He clips it to Bloomfield, who has a chance to get a shot away. His touch just a bit loose, but he clips it back in. It's well intercepted by number 11, Aaron Sibia, and it's another corner to Hampton and Richmond.
Hampton and Richmond are playing some really good football to start with, really good intricate passing, and that was a lovely little passage of play there.
It's been fairly balanced so far, but I think Hampton and Richmond certainly look the more promising of sides in the attack so far.
Yep. 8 minutes played at Beverley Stadium. It's still Hampton Richmond 0, Maidstone United 0. Corner whipped in by Sam Deadfield. Fernandez heads it. It's Louis Fernandez with his first goal of the season. Corner whipped in by Sam Deadfield, and there was Fernandez at the back post to just bullet header it into the net. Hampton and Richmond 1, Maidstone United 0.
How about that then? What a start for Hampton and Richmond. Louis Fernandez, like you say, bullet header in the back of the net. Perfect start.
Absolutely. It's a really, really good well-taken corner to that back post, and Fernandez is there to finish it, and I think Hampton and Richmond have deserved that based on play so far.
Well, as I said, it's his first goal of the season. He scored 5 last season. Maybe as we get into November, it would have been bothering him a little bit, even though he's a defender and that is not his primary job to score goals, especially as his usual centre-back partner, Dean Inman, has already scored twice this season. But Fernandez has got himself off the mark for the season, and Hampton and Richmond are off and running. Less than 10 minutes played, and now the game resumes. Maidstone looking for a quick route back into it. Good tackle by Jake Gray, but referee stops play for an earlier foul on Sam Deadfield. So here's a free kick to the home side about midway into the Hampton and Richmond half.
I think it'll be really interesting to see how Maidstone respond to going a goal down this early on in the game. We've seen Hampton and Richmond go up early in games before and hold on to it, so this is a really good sign for Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah, I think our optimism is rubbing off well on the boys. It's all us. That's why they're winning, of course. Adam Desbois plays it long towards Bloomfield, who wins the header, doesn't quite find his strike partner, Ben Seymour. The ball is now on the Maidstone left. It's number 11, Aaron Sibio, who's driving forward. Good tracking back by Jake Gray. So Aaron Sibio goes back to his captain, Korn. Clipped out right. Good tackle by Dan Wishart, who is looking to drive forward. Plays it inside to Hunt, who has plenty of space in the centre circle. Plays out right to Jordan Thomas, who is also in space. Tried a through ball to Ben Seymour, but it was intercepted. Hampton Richmond do still have the ball. It's unfortunate there. Good idea from Mason Bloomfield, but he and Jordan Thomas were not quite on the same wavelength there.
Just want to reiterate what I said earlier in the broadcast as well. I'm really excited to see how Isaac Pitt-Blado copes in that new position this afternoon.
Maidstone have a free kick about 10 yards into their own half. Deadfield penalised for a challenge on, I believe, it would have been a former Hampton and Richmond teammate, Razak Coleman-Graft. The two would have played alongside each other here a few times.
It was in the 2019-2020 season when he was with us, Jackson.
Yeah, that was certainly a weird season, but it was also a very strange time for the world. Louis Fernandez winning the header once again, and he does it again. Bloomfield wins the second ball, and then Ben Seymour makes the third ball. Mel Gwinnett very, very happy with that desire shown by both Bloomfield and Seymour there. It's a throw-in to Maidstone, and it's played back towards number 5, George Fowler. And now it's Rafe Brown who tries to clip it long to Rush. Ball is about 25 yards from goal. Maidstone on the attack. There's Louis Fernandez again to make that all-important clearance.
Got to say, so far, Luis Fernandez is having a very good game so far. He's been clearing everything at the moment, not put a foot wrong so far.
Well, he has been in very good form, Fernandez. In recent weeks, he has been included in the National League South Team of the Week. That was after our victory against Torquay, and I believe also after our win over Hampton and Waterlooville.
And don't forget, not too long ago, Mel Gwinnett was Manager of the Week.
Quite right. It's been a very good month for the Beavers, that's for sure. And they're on the ball with Jake Gray, who plays about to Dan Wishart, who's on the halfway line. Now it's with Donaldson. Tried a cheeky nutmeg on number 10, Lamar Reynolds, but Reynolds was wise to it. Seymour was surely fouled there. Play does go on. Maidstone are on the attack. It's with Rush on the right-hand side. He plays it inside to Wanjao Smith. He might take a shot on here. He is just stood up by Deadfield. It's now back with Rush. He looks to cross it in, but that is way too deep, and it's gone straight out of play for a goal kick.
Ben Seymour was certainly fouled back then. I'm very surprised the ref didn't pick up on that, but Maidstone United just showing, you know, they've definitely got more than capable of building a good attack together. So, and as we all know, 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline.
You love to say that.
I love to say it because it's true, Jackson.
It is very true.
And also just there, Rui Donaldson just going for the nutmeg there, just trying to keep the play going nice and quick. Yeah, the George Elakobi, the manager for Maidstone United, just shouting his players to switch on. So Hampton and Richmond really looking to turn it up and just catch Maidstone United off guard.
Bloomfield wins the header from Desbois' goal kick. Again, it doesn't quite find a teammate of his. Lovely touch by Jordan Thomas to bring down a long ball, and it's out with Hunt. Clips it out to Gray, who is offside just about. I think from where we were stood, it looked like Gray made his run just a touch too early, so it is a free kick to the away side.
Just going back to that defensive pairing, I think it is understandable why we've got Pip Blado there, given the amount of headers we've seen the defensive pairing have to challenge for, and we can see Pip Blado is visibly one of the tallest, which is potentially where Wishart is potentially lacking a little bit on the height.
Play is back underway. Cross in from the left-hand side, and Desbois did well to claim it. He looks to take the kick very quickly, and he almost finds Ben Seymour. It would have been a sublime touch if he managed to, but it just evaded him, so it's out for a throw-in to Maidstone about halfway into their own half. It'll be Bone who throws it in. His captain, Corn, was offering option inside. He told his teammates to get a bit further forward in no uncertain terms there. It's Bloomfield, who's been clipped to the ground by Corn. Managed to make his way in between two Maidstone players, but he was tripped up, so it is a free kick to Hampton Richmond about 10 yards into Maidstone's half. And this will be an opportunity, I usually say, for the likes of Dean Inman. Of course, we do not have Dean Inman at our disposal today because he's serving his suspension for the red card he picked up at Dover last weekend. So it's Fernandez and Pip Blado who make their way towards the box. It's Jake Gray who's going to take it, and he aims in the direction of Rui Donaldson, who does win the header, but it is hooked away by Rafe Brown. Hunt looks to keep the attack alive, and Rui Donaldson is surely caught there by Brown. He has indeed, and the referee has given Hampton and Richmond a free kick about 3 yards outside of the Maidstone box.
Yeah, real dangerous area here. Hampton and Richmond could really capitalise on this moment. We just scored earlier from the first set piece, the corner. Could we possibly do it again?
Yep, that was scored by Luis Fernandez, a bullet header low into the net from Sam Deadfield's corner, and Sam Deadfield is one of those stood over the ball. He and Jake Gray, as is often the case with set pieces for Hampton Richmond. It does favour the right foot of Jake Gray as it is on the left-hand side, just to whip it in on the instep. Does look like it'll be Gray. It is him who whips it in. Are you joking? Hampton around! Really well worked free kick by the Beavers. Jake Gray with a brilliant delivery from the left-hand side. There was Bloomfield towering above all the Maidstone defenders. and firing it past the goalkeeper, Lucas Coverland, with his head. Hampton Richmond 2, Maidstone 0.
Mason Derulo! What a cracking goal that was. I couldn't believe it. That was Mason Bloomfield with a towering head. He just gets to the back of the net. Oh, this is a fantastic start for Hampton and Richmond. Blimey.
Every single set piece so far we scored off, and we can't stop picking them out of the air.
Did I not just say before that set piece is a really good opportunity for Hampton and Richmond? They've only just someone can hear me from up here. Someone's got the message down.
Well, a belated birthday present for Mason Bloomfield. He celebrated his birthday on Monday, so many happy returns to Bloomfield. He's certainly made all the Hampton and Richmond fans happy with his goal in the 17th minute. It's Hampton Richmond 2, Maidstone United 0. That's Bloomfield's 4th goal of the season. And I think, well, Maidstone are on the attack here. It's with number 9, Wanjao Smith. Lovely tackle by Pip Blado. He had just made his way into the box, Wanjao Smith, but Pip Blado was there before he had a chance to look up and try and do a shot or find a teammate. Oh, and that's when you know it's not your day so far. Maidstone have been penalised for a foul throw. It's Reynolds who didn't get his technique right. So it's a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond.
This has been a really good start for Hampton and Richmond. 2 goals to the good now. I mean, we haven't had too many minutes gone, have we, Jackson?
No, 18 of them,
18.
to be precise. And Hampton and Richmond have already scored twice. It's Bloomfield who wins the header, but didn't quite find Ben Seymour. Lovely pressing by Jake Gray. And now Hampton and Richmond have the ball. And Gray tried to find Seymour with a through ball, but credit to Maidstone's Rafe Brown. He managed to make the interception. Hampton Richmond do have the ball back. It's with Pip Blado deputising at centre-back for Dean Inman. His long ball just went a bit out of play, so it's a throw-in to Maidstone, about 20 yards into the Maidstone half. It's back with their goalkeeper, Lucas Coverland. I think that's pretty much the first time I've seen him touch the ball in open play. The other 2 occasions, he's been picking the ball out of his net. Oh, clear push there on Pip Blado. And yeah, a free kick has been awarded. The referee's assistant was right there in front of the foul, so if you didn't spot that, then that would have been quite something. But that just shows how frustrated Maidstone are getting. Yeah, it's not working for Maidstone United at the moment. Hampton and Richmond have had all the answers to any questions that Maidstone United have posed at the defence, and Adam Desbois hasn't really had to do much so far. But like you say, Jackson, Lucas Colavan, he's sadly been picking the ball out the back of the net for him so far. So again, a really fantastic start by Hampton and Richmond, and I'm sure Hampton and Richmond want to capitalise on this and try and make it 3. Oh, it's a good header by Bloomfield towards Donaldson. But Donaldson was flagged offside. As I was commentating on Bloomfield, I nearly said Derulo after your little sing-song a couple of minutes ago. I'm a passionate fan of the club, Jackson, as you well know. Yeah, and that Derulo line was in reference to Alfie Whittingham calling Bloomfield Mason Derulo on our social channels. It's well worth a watch. It was back before the start of the Truro game. And Bloomfield, the man himself, has been penalised for a handball. It's a free kick taken quickly by Corn. It's now with Reynolds on the right-hand side. His cross is intercepted by Pip Blado. Bloomfield then helps the clearance happen, but Wishart's clearance isn't the best. Another header away by Hampton of Richmond. Maidstone forced just to retreat a little bit. It's now with number 15, Sam Bone. Now it's with Bivesh Gurung. Bloomfield is closing down Bone, and although Bone's done pretty well there to clip it out to number 11, Aaron Sibia. But Sibia's through ball to Matt Rush has just gone out of play for a throw-in. Now, of course, it is November, and with November in the UK, you've got plenty of people growing their moustaches for Movember. I don't know if the fans can see.
Yeah.
Me and Jonny, we are growing our
that.
moustaches. They are there, we promise, but you might not be able to see them.
No.
So
I'll give a little close-up later for all the viewers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mine is a very feeble attempt, I must say.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what the fans would love to see. But of course, you can donate to the Movember charity. Plenty of impressive efforts. I'm looking at Louis Fernandez's moustache. Dan Wishart's got a very good tash going on at the moment. So I'm sure at the end of November there'll be a nice little competition to see who's done the best amongst the Beavers squad.
No, and as I mentioned on the game on Tuesday night, Hampton Richmond have already raised over £6,000 for the Movember charity, so any more donations will be most welcome.
The ball is with the visitors. A ball played to Rush. Now it's with number 9, Wan Jiao Smith, who has a chance to get a shot away. And it's a very good finish by Wan Jiao Smith. It's a good through ball played by Matt Rush, the striker, with his head to Wan Jiao Smith, and then he got in between both Jordan Thomas and Louis Fernandez and then beat Adam Desbois at his near post with a very good right-footed effort. Hampton Richmond 2, Maidstone 1.
Well, like I said earlier, Maidstone United know how to get a result, and Maidstone United have got themselves right back in this game. Fantastic shot to put it in the bottom left-hand corner to beat Desbois. You know, this is, well, game on again.
He got himself really close to the goal in terms of in behind the Hampton and Richmond defence, and didn't really give Desbois much help, and certainly hard to save that one. A really good shot into the bottom corner.
Yeah, just when it looked like things were going very, very swimmingly for Mel Gwinnett's men, they've been pegged back somewhat, and there's now only one goal in it. Hampton Richmond 2, Maidstone 1, and we're only just over the halfway point in the first half. Hampton Richmond have themselves a throw-in, which will be taken by Dan Wishart about 20 yards into Maidstone's half.
I don't think there's any need to sort of worry at this stage or anything like that, because I mean we're very early. It's very early doors in the game, and we're still one goal ahead. But I think both sides are now just settling themselves into the game.
Oh, a bit of contact off the ball between Ben Seymour and it looks like Sam Corn there, but the referee not interested. Play does go on. Headed away by Jordan Thomas, but it is with Coleman Graft. Maidstone getting some possession under their belts. It was with their centre-back, George Fowler. He doesn't have many options forward, so he plays it outright. It's now with Corn on the halfway line. He plays it back to Lucas Coverland. Bone tries an adventurous pass outright to Reynolds, who controls the ball well. Now Bone clips it. Oh, penalty appeal.
No.
It's been given.
That's soft.
Well,
no, I think that's soft.
Yeah, I must say, Isaac Piplado has every right to feel aggrieved. And Rory Donaldson has been booked for dissent. It was a coming together between Sol Wanjao Smith and Isaac Piplado, and there was a tangle of legs, but I think the referee might have got it wrong there.
Yeah, no, that is not a penalty whatsoever. Isaac Piplado, for me, was doing really good defensively, towering over the player there just to stop any danger getting further forward. But the Maidstone player just sort of goes down, and I think possibly, I guess from the angle, the referees, from our angle, it certainly looks like that was not a penalty at all. Perhaps from the referee's angle, it looked different, but this will be an opportunity for Adam Desbois to try and save this if he can.
I do kind of wish there was VAR now in the National League South. I know
that would have been ruled out for sure.
Yeah.
That would have been ruled out for sure.
So it's number 11, Devonte Arancibia, who is stood over the ball. Adam Desbois has saved a penalty already this season against Dartford, our 4-3 win. Here is Arancibia. No problems for him. He slots it away very well, kicking the ball to the right of Adam Desbois, who didn't move much from his goal line, but that's how he saved the penalty against Dartford. And well, just like that, Hampton Richmond have gone from 2-0 up to drawing at 2-2. It's Hampton and Richmond 2, Maidstone United 2.
That is the Vanarama National League South for you. Anything can happen at this level. 4 goals already in the first half. This is quite a game for anyone that's watching. Yeah, we're back. It's even Stevens.
I guess the positive is that we've seen goals in this match, and plenty more can come for Hampton and Richmond by the looks of things.
Yeah, I certainly think you're right, Laura. I think Hampton and Richmond have already posed such a threat going forward, and Maidstone United have just got themselves back into the game now, so this is going to be a really interesting end to the first half.
Well, the last 2 outings for Hampton and Richmond was a 1-0 win and a goalless draw. So it is somewhat hurting the defensive stats, but we are seeing a very, very entertaining game so far. 27 minutes played, Hampton Richmond 2, Maidstone United 2. Maidstone do have their tails up at the moment. It's with their goal scorer of their second goal, Aaron Sibia, still on it. He plays it back to Gurung. And yeah, the away side are knocking the ball out around very, very well. They have responded quite well to the setback of going 2 goals down against the Beavers. Ball has gone out of play, so it's a throw-in. About midway into Hampton and Richmond's half, it is Jordan Thomas, the right back, who throws it down the line towards Bloomfield. So a little bit beyond him, but it is headed out by Bones. So it's another throw into Hampton and Richmond just inside their half. Thomas again is the one to take it. He's looking to find Bloomfield, who wins the header at this attempt. Ooh. Good touch by Ben Seymour. Just a bit beyond Jake Gray, but number 6, Rafe Brown, does just boot it out a play for a throw-in. And we are going to need a new ball, which is promptly delivered to Jordan Thomas. Deep into Maidstone's half. It's a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond. Not many showing for the ball. Now Ben Seymour. Good play by Jordan Thomas. Now we can get a cross in. Looking for Bloomfield. Donaldson almost gets the header. Good defending by Lamar Reynolds. And then it's booted away by Sam Corn.
Oh, the Flying Scotsman nearly had an opportunity there himself.
This ball is still with Hampton Richmond. Dan Wishart taken out there by number 10, Lamar Reynolds. It is a free kick to Hampton and Richmond, about 5 yards into Maidstone's half. Yeah, Rory Donaldson has scored. Well, he scored our first goal of the season, the league season, with an equaliser at Chelmsford.
I was there. I saw it. It was a cracking goal.
Deadfield now clips the ball in towards Bloomfield. Oh, and he almost finds Donaldson. It's just a bit too high for him, the ball, and Reynolds for Maidstone clears it away, but only out for a throw-in to Hampton Richmond midway into Maidstone's half.
I think this is really promising that Hampton and Richmond are just building up their possession again, getting back into the game, having conceded those 2 goals in quick succession, and we're starting to see them attack a bit more and gain a bit more of that momentum we saw when they were 2-0 up.
Yeah, absolutely. Maidstone were doing very well on the ball in that period between scoring their first goal and getting that equaliser, but Hampton Richmond have seen a lot of it lately. Bloomfield's in the box.
Have a go!
Save by Coverland.
Go for it!
Shot. Blocked by Gurung. It is out for a corner kick to Hampton and Richmond, but again, another great chance for the Beavers.
Oh, Bloomfield with a really good opportunity there. I could see he striked it so sweetly, and then the rebound came back, and Jordan Thomas was there to give it a crack, but it went out, and it's like you say, Jackson, it is a corner ball.
Yeah, corner on that right-hand side, which is where the first goal came from. It was scored by Fernandez. He's just on the edge of the box at the moment. Sam Deadfield whips it in with his left boot. Oh, it's He's got another one! Mason Derulo! Again, it's coming from that right-hand side. Sam Deadfield whipping it in to that danger area, and Bloomfield, who had arms around him, he wanted it more, didn't he? He has dived for the header, and it went into the top corner. And we've only just played over half an hour, and it's now Hampton and Richmond 3, Maidstone 2.
Mason Bloomfield, you beauty! This is a fantastic game of football. For those that are watching on Beavers TV, you're going to wish you were here, because this is already 5 goals in this first half. Mason Bloomfield just getting the latest one. What a game we're having here, Jackson and Laura.
Absolutely, and again it's from a corner, and again it's the tallest man in the box, and I don't think we have any surprise that that goal has been scored by Mason Bloomfield.
Well, that's now goal number 5 for the season for Mason Bloomfield. He's catching up with Ben Seymour, who is our top scorer this season, on 7. Bloomfield has been absolutely electric, scored 2 goals, and he's been pressing the Maidstone defenders really, really well. And well, I thought it wouldn't get any better than Dartford in terms of entertainment value, but this has all the makings to be much better. But Maidstone are looking for a route back into the game. Fernandez beats number 9 Wanjao Smith to the ball. Sliding challenge there by Dan Wishart, beating number 7 Coleman Graft to that 50-50. The visitors do have the ball back though. It's with their captain Corn. Now Rafe Brown plays it back to Fowler. This is all happening in Maidstone's half. Now ball long is not very well executed by Sam Bone, so it is a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond midway into the Hampton and Richmond half.
I say possession-wise, it has kind of been fairly even for either side, but Hampton and Richmond, whenever they've had an opportunity in front of goal, they've been really clinical.
Ball is now with Hunt, plays it back to Thomas, who looks to play it down the line. I think he was aiming for Rory Donaldson, but Rory Donaldson was quite some distance offside, so Donaldson did not elect to make the run. So the ball is now in the hand of the Maidstone goalkeeper, Lucas Coverlan, who kicks it long towards Wanjao Smith. Fernandez is the one who wins the header. Gurung sprays it out to Reynolds. That was a lovely pass. Reynolds has I say he was going to get the beating of Dan Wishart.
Oh, no.
And, well, the linesman, I saw him shake his flag. It's a free kick, is it? Well, the referee is going to consult his assistant.
I mean, that was quite close. It was quite close. I couldn't really call it. I'd like to say that was right on the line. If that's another penalty, that'll be such a great shame.
Oh, it's outside.
The referee has pointed for a free kick. Oh. We are talking centimetres outside of the box. It was a tangle between Wishart and Lamar Reynolds. Wishart just shaking his head a little bit there. I'm not sure he's convinced it was even a foul. And while it's not a penalty, which is a massive relief for Hampton and Richmond, there's a bit of a argument going on between the two managers, Mel Gwinnett and George Elacobi. Let's hope that's the last we see of that is still going on. Maidstone are about to take the free kick. The referee is pretty oblivious to the touchline argument that's going on. James Comley, the assistant, is also getting involved. Anyway, the free kick is played back to Reynolds, who blazes it high over the bar.
I've just taken my right earphone off just to listen to the atmosphere, and it is absolutely electric in here now. What a blockbuster of a game we're having this afternoon here at the Beverly.
Yeah, that argument is still going on a bit. Christmas is still quite far away, but I can't imagine they're going to be exchanging cards this season.
No, most certainly won't.
And we are encountering a stoppage in the game. The referee's assistant, who was right in the middle of that, trying to act as the peacemaker.
So there could be a booking.
This may not be the end of the matter.
Well, it's certainly a very fiery affair, isn't it, this afternoon?
Yeah, both managers have now been called up by the referee. Elacobi is not being the most accommodating. The referee has put his hand in his pocket. Yeah, we're just staying quiet so we can try and hear what's been said. Well, the Maidstone manager, George Elacobi, has been given a yellow card by the referee. Mel Gwinnett did not get a yellow card, but I think when the referee called both managers over, Mel Gwinnett was more than happy to do so. George Elokobi, don't really know why, but he questioned even that decision.
No, I think he thought it was a penalty over there, and Mel Gwinnett obviously didn't agree with that. But Mel just staying very calm, I thought, in that situation. When he's confronted with a bit of grief, but Mel stayed very calm, and the Maidstone manager has just got himself in the book.
That is the second booking of the afternoon. It's about to be number 3. It's a late challenge on Jake Gray by number 11, Aaron Sebia.
That's a yellow card, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Sebia, who's got himself on the score sheet, and now he is in the referee's notebook. And yeah, this game is just in a bit of danger of boiling over.
Yeah, tension's just running ever so slightly higher. I think when you see those challenges made in the first half, you just want to try and, I think the referee will just want to try and calm the game down. But like you say, Jax, you do see those situations where the game does boil over. I mean, if you look back at the Premier League, was it on Monday, Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea, and that was a classic example of where a game can just get really, really fiery.
Jake Gray is back on his feet, we're happy to say, and Hampton Richmond have themselves a free kick just in front of the centre circle in Maidstone's half. Sam Deadfield is the one who's stood over the ball. He's looking to find Pip Blado, who is in here, can take a shot. By Coverland, it's still in the penalty box. It's high, headed away. Now here's Bloomfield. He's stood up there. To George Hunt. Blocked. Still alive here, Hampton and Richmond. And Jake Gray got his cross all wrong. Well, there are about 3 half chances in there, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely. A series of blocks. And I think each of our players that took them hit them really well, actually, really sweetly. I thought that first chance, I think it was Pip Blado, struck it really well, but sadly at the keeper. Again, that was set free for a rebound. I think Hunt had another opportunity in there that was blocked really well. And it kept coming out. It felt inevitable, but in the end, Gray just sending that looping cross that was slightly a bit too long.
Yeah, Hampton and Richmond are having plenty of opportunities now, and they've obviously taken a fair few of them, 3 of them to be precise.
We are having another stoppage in play. It's number 9, Sol Wanjao Smith, who is down. I'm not entirely sure what that was for. I don't think it was a challenge by a Hampton and Richmond player. Just want to touch on what Laura said as well, Jackson. You bang on, Laura. I think every shot we've had, they've been so cleanly hit. So you can clearly see on the training ground that the lads have been working on that technique, and it really is starting to show. Oh, well, it's nice just to get a bit of a breather after what we've seen in this first half. 39 minutes played. It's Hampton Richmond 3, Maidstone United 2. Yes, it is 3-2 after less than 40 minutes. We'll have plenty of added time with the goals and a couple of injuries, and of course that conversation between the referee and the 2 managers, who had a little bit of a disagreement. But play does go on now. Ben Seymour wins the header, looking to find Bloomfield.
Great.
Who dispossesses Brown. The ball is now with Donaldson on the left. Crosses it in early. Jake Gray. Jake Gray still has a chance. Good save by Coverland. And it's cleared away by Maidstone. Wishart is looking to keep the attack alive. Deadfield sends this. Now Maidstone have an opportunity. They're into the Hampton and Richmond half. It's with number 9, Wanjao Smith. He's got better from that little knock. Good tackle by Jordan Thomas. But it's a good pass to Reynolds. It's just a bit overhit. Reynolds does, to his credit, keep it in. He's crossing it back in towards Wanjao Smith. Gray heads it away only as far as Aaron Sebia. He crosses it in, headed by Wanjao Smith, and it loops over Adam Desbois' crossbar.
It's really end to end now. I think we had a good opportunity at one end, and straight away Maidstone were able to break, winning it back off Wishart, and with a really good opportunity at the other end, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. Maidstone just by no means out of this at all, and well, 3-2, I guess you could say, is also a dangerous scoreline.
You should get that trademarked, I think. Yeah, that chance for Jake Gray. He just worked some space for himself on that left-hand side. If he managed to score, it would have been very similar to his winner at Dover last Saturday, but it wasn't quite as high, and Coverland was equal to it. Bloomfield winning the header again. Reynolds only half clears it away. It's with the captain, Sam Corn. Plays it out left to Aaron Sebia. He's up against Jordan Thomas. He can't get round Thomas, so it's played back to the Maidstone captain, Corn. Now Aaron Sebia again. Crosses it in. It's too deep for Wanjao Smith, and Wishart's there to chest it down and then boot it long towards Bloomfield. And why not? Because he's been in great form this first half. It's just a bit too long for Bloomfield, so the away side are back in possession.
I've been really impressed by every player in a Hampton and Richmond cert so far this afternoon. Everyone has put an absolute shift in.
Good play by Lamar Reynolds, but he just slips over as he was about to play the pass, so Hampton Richmond are in possession.
Oh, good challenge.
Surely a foul there on Ben Seymour. Referee waves play on. It's now Wanjao Smith on the right-hand side. He looks to clip it in. It's an easy gather, though, for Adam Desbois. The on-rushing Matt Rush tried to get his head on the ball, but Desbois was always the favourite to get there.
I thought it was really good, positive, assertive stuff there from Desbois. He came out off his line to claim that ball and did so really well with confidence, which is what you want to see from your keeper.
Absolutely. Credit to both players for putting on an absolute spectacle so far. Looks like there's a head injury for a Maidstone player. I can't quite make out who it is, but their physio has rushed on to the pitch. It was Bloomfield going for a long ball by Desbois. Again, I can't quite see who it is for Maidstone who is down, but again, we'll have another stoppage. I mean, the Maidstone player is moving, so it's not, thankfully it's not an emergency of any kind, but obviously with head injuries, you can't take your chances.
No, especially whenever there is the possibility of a head injury, you can never take any chances, especially because obviously concussion is a really serious matter. It has to be taken very seriously. And
it is an opportunity for Mel Gwinnett to regroup with his players. George Elokobi, the Maidstone manager, doing the same with his players.
I think Isaac Bitblado is having a really good game as well. I think the only thing I would say is possibly I think he just at that one moment about 5 minutes ago allowed the Maidstone player to dispossess him and charge forward. But other than that, I do think Isaac Bitblado is having a really good game this afternoon in that position.
We feel he was rather unfairly penalised.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
For a foul in the box, which led to Maidstone's penalty, which was tucked away by number 11, Aaron Sebia. But yeah, it's a very good shift so far for Bitblado at centre-back. But start of the show, surely, Mason Bloomfield so far.
Absolutely. I think more than just his goals, he seems to be winning every ball that he's challenging for at the moment, and I think that's been really obviously his goals are probably the biggest contribution, but another huge contribution to this match has just been his tenacity in the press and in trying to win those balls back for the team and winning those balls when the balls are fired over the top.
The Maidstone player who was down is George Fowler. Thankfully he is back on his feet, so he will make his way off the pitch, and as soon as play restarts, the referee will usher him back on.
He seems to be shaking out his legs. I'm not sure whether that was a
he seemed to be holding his head, but okay. Maybe there was a bit of a leg injury as well.
Yeah. As long as he's past the concussion protocol.
Absolutely.
So it is a drop ball. Sam Bone isn't a fan of that. And Bone plays it long. So 5 added minutes at the end of this first half, which is no surprise whatsoever. We've had plenty of stoppages. I think 10 minutes wouldn't have been out of the question, but 5 minutes will suffice. It's played long by Maidstone goalkeeper Coverland, headed away by Fernandez. Gurung wins it back. Oh, good play by Rush, but Donaldson wins the second ball, and then Deville, a crunching challenge on Coleman Graft. Now it's with Korn, who looks to whip it in. It's low, and it's cleared away by Luis Fernandez. Ben Seymour just overran the ball a bit, so George Elokobi's side do have it back. It's with Bone. Good interception by Hunt. And now Donaldson will look to venture into Maidstone's half. Bit of a loose ball by Mason Bloomfield. That's the only wrong thing he's done all afternoon so far. It's with Rush on the right-hand side. Looks to find Reynolds, but Reynolds did just hold his run a bit, so it's gone out of play for a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond. We've played over a minute of the additional 5 at the end of this first half. A reminder, it's Hampton and Richmond 3, Maidstone United 2. 2 goals for Mason Bloomfield. Luis Fernandez scored the first goal for Hampton and Richmond, but Maidstone have more than played their part. Their first goal was scored by Sol Wanjao Smith, and their second, which was a penalty, an unjust penalty in our opinion, which was scored by Devonte Arancibia. Now it's, I think, Sam Deadfield penalised for a challenge on George Fowler. He has been in the wars these last couple of minutes. Free kick taken quickly by Coverland, aiming for Rush, headed away by Pip Blado. It's now a shot taken, brilliant save by Adam Desbois. There's almost a putt shot taken by number 7, Coleman Graft, as Adam Desbois showing off his best acrobatics to palm the ball away. That might actually be a corner to Maidstone United. Yeah, it's George Hunt who got the header, and it just trickled out of play for a corner on the left-hand side. But what a great effort that was from Coleman Graft.
It was certainly a long-range effort, and struck it really well. I think he saw Desbois was just off his line, and Desbois did really well actually to adjust and get back on his line to make that save.
Anyway, the corner will be whipped in on this left-hand side for Maidstone. Now it's in the middle, headed away by Fernandez. And Fernandez is there to make the second clearance. It's Reynolds who's controlling the ball, but he's been pressed by Deadfield. Reynolds does very well to hook it away from him. Ball is now at the feet of Rory Donaldson. And just under pressure there by Matt Rush, he overran it, so it's a throw-in to the away side, just inside Hampton and Richmond's half. Thrown in by Brown, headed away by Deadfield. It's back with Brown. Wishart controls the ball, plays it long, but it's just a bit too far in front of both Mason Bloomfield and Ben Seymour. Long ball played is intercepted by Jordan Thomas. It's now with Corn in the centre circle. He plays it outright to Rafe Brown, just inside Hampton and Richmond's half. Now he plays it across the pitch to Gurung. Got 1 more minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Hampton and Richmond 3-2 up against Maidstone, who have a throw-in about midway into Hampton and Richmond's half. Good touch there by Coleman Graft, who had that rasping effort, well saved by Desbois. And Hampton and Richmond haven't really cleared their lines, although it's a bit of a loose pass towards Reynolds, who's forced to run back a bit further back on the pitch. Nice. And then good charge down by Mason Bloomfield. And there we have it. That's the end of the first half. And what a half it's been. Hampton and Richmond are 3-2 up. Let's take it from the top. The deadlock was broken by Luis Fernandez's bullet header, his first goal of the season. A lovely corner taken by Sam Deadfield. And then on 17 minutes, it was Mason Bloomfield who scored a bullet header, brilliant free kick taken by Jake Gray. And there was Bloomfield 6 yards out to head it beyond Lucas Coverland, the Maidstone goalkeeper. But the away side, to their credit, despite their early setbacks, came roaring back. A lovely solo effort by Sol Wanjao Smith made it 2-1. And then 2 minutes later, on 25 minutes, they got themselves a penalty. We think Isaac Biblado was very unfortunate to be penalised, but credit to Devonte Arancibia, who just slotted it home past Adam Desbois. And then 6 minutes after that, Mason Bloomfield got his second with a show of great strength to get his head on the ball. Again, Sam Deadfield, the assist provider. But it's not just been the goals that have contributed to the drama. There's been arguments on the touchline between both managers, George Elokobi and Mel Gwinnett. George Elokobi was yellow carded by the referee. Plenty of crunching challenges going in, yellow cards on the pitch. The second half can't get better than this, can it?
I mean, there's only one word to describe that first half: blockbuster.
Absolutely.
That's all I can say.
Well, I doubt there are any better games going on across the division, and I do see you have your FOTMob app up, Jonny, so if you wouldn't mind take us through the scores on the doors.
Another score apps are available. But so yes, just to take you through the current half-time scores of the Vanarama National League South. Half-time at Bath City 2, Averley 0, Chelmsford 1, Chippenham Town 1, Eastbourne Borough 2, Braintree Town 1, Farnborough 0, Weymouth 1, Hampton and Richmond 3, Maidstone United 2, Havant and Waterlooville 0, Torquay United 0, and that's still in play. Hemel Hempstead 0, Taunton Town 0, St Albans City 2, Tunbridge Angels 0. The fixture between Truro City and Dartford is postponed. Welling United 2, Slough Town 1. Weston-super-Mare and Worthing's fixture this afternoon has been postponed, and it's Yeovil 0, Dover Athletic 0, and that game is also live in play still.
As I thought, all of them rubbish compared to this one. We're going to take a short break, get a bit of a breather in, maybe a bit of a brandy as well after seeing what unfolded there. So yeah, you get yourselves a break too. It's Hampton and Richmond 3, Maidstone United 2. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back to the YouTube watch-along of what has been a pulsating National League South encounter. Hampton and Richmond 3, Maidstone 2 is the scoreline at the moment. 2 goals for Mason Bloomfield, 1 goal for Louis Fernandez. For the visitors, it's Sol Wanjao-Smith who got their first, and then their second, which is a penalty scored by Devonte Arancibia. There was arguments on the touchline between Mel Gwinnett and George Elakobi, the 2 managers this afternoon. Plenty of late challenges as well. Jake Gray and Mason Bloomfield have had good chances as well. An awful lot to unpack from that opening 45, isn't there?
Yeah, no, I thought that was an absolutely electric first 45, like you say, Jackson. I think this is going to be really where it comes down to crunch time. So Hampton and Richmond find themselves 1 goal with a 1 goal advantage against a very good Maidstone side. So, I mean, Laura, what do you think? How do Hampton and Richmond approach this second half?
I think it'll be a really interesting one, because obviously we've seen them potentially sit back when they've got that lead in matches before, but we've seen that with the pairing of Fernandez and Inman, and with whether we see them trust that defensive pairing as much as of Pip Blado and Fernandez. Obviously Pip Blado new to that role and a new pairing, whether we see them go for a bit more of the attacking form of defence. It'll be really interesting to see. We know both teams can score goals, so let's see what's to come.
Yeah, Pip Blado has done very well. He was penalised for the penalty that Maidstone got given. I think we're all in agreement that it was a very harsh decision.
Yeah, I was just speaking to a couple of fans just at half-time there, and they all felt the same as we did, that it shouldn't have been a penalty, but sometimes these work, well, you know how it is, sometimes these work in your favour, sometimes they don't. I mean, I think Hampton and Richmond have been on the lucky end of receiving penalty decisions so far this season, so it happens in football, so you just have to kick on and get on with it.
Speaking of kicking on, we have now kicked off at the start of the second half. Maidstone getting the game underway. The ball is with Bivesh Gurung. No changes made by either manager at half-time. Ball is with...
Nice.
Well, it's intercepted by Ben Seymour. Very good tracking back, and he has given it away to Corn. Deadfield mops things up. It's flicked on towards Wanjao-Smith. Now it's with Corn, plays it outright to Gurung. And he kicks the ball out because one of his teammates is down on the ground. It's number 10, Lamar Reynolds. I think it was a collision with Dan Wishart. I don't think it was a foul, but if you collide with Dan Wishart, who's got a very impressive build about him, it is going to sting.
Yeah, I think Dan Wishart so far this season has shown his ability on the ball. Like, it's very hard to dispossess Dan Wishart, and if you're going to go a one-on-one challenge with Dan Wishart, you're probably going to come out worse than he is.
Yeah, Wishart, he picked up an injury against Dover, so he was substituted in the first half, and he played no part against Tunbridge on Tuesday night, but he is back in the starting 11. And looking fit as a fiddle now.
I think his importance down that left-hand side and his ability to get forward is, I think, potentially shown in the fact that he hasn't been used in that centre-back pairing. He has been kept out in that role on the left, and it shows that he plays a really important role there for Hampton and Richmond.
Reynolds is back on his feet, so he'll just walk off the pitch and, when play restarts, come back on. It's throw-in taken by Rory Donaldson, and Sam Deadfield does the sporting gesture of playing it back to Maidstone. It's with their goalkeeper, Coverland.
In those situations, do you have to do what Sam Deadfield just did there?
Legally, no, but you'll lose a bit of respect.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, very famously something happened. Was it Aston Villa and Leeds, I believe, a few seasons ago? Marcelo Bielsa was there, and can't remember who the Aston Villa manager was, but yeah, very similar situation.
Now here's Reynolds, recovering from his collision with Dan Wishart, takes him on, crosses it in, cleared away by Jake Gray, and he's found Rory Donaldson, who plays it down that left-hand channel towards Ben Seymour, hooked away by Rafe Brown. It's a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond.
very insignificant point here, but we have seen Adam Dewar match his shorts now with his top at half-time. So he's now...
Yeah, there's still yellow socks though, so that is bugging me a bit from a fashion perspective.
Yellow socks and the yellow mid-layer. So he looks like a orange and yellow ice lolly.
Yeah.
Oh no! I tell you what, it's like one of the fruit pastels round trees one. When you've got the black coat and the lime's gone, then you're only left with the orange and yellow, the orange and lemon flavours. Yeah.
There's a little collision there between Fernandez and Rush. Referee awarding a free kick to Maidstone. Fernandez is in disbelief that he's been penalised there, so it's a free kick to Maidstone, about 35 yards from the Hampton and Richmond goal on the right-hand side.
Yeah, dangerous territory here for Maidstone United. They've got the opportunity to whip this ball. I mean, could they have a shot on goal from here, or is that a bit too far out, do you reckon?
I reckon you could have a shot, but I think maybe more dangerous to swing that one in and see who can attack it.
It's Sam Corn, their captain, who is the only player stood over the ball. Plenty of bodies in the box. He does whip it in, headed away by Isaac Pitblado. Only as far out as Gurung. He returns it to Corn. Oh, brilliant charge down by Bloomfield. It's back with Maidstone goalkeeper Coverland. Sprays it out left. It's good play by the visitors. Aaron Sebia. There's a shot taken on the edge of the box by George Fowler, the centre-back, but it did go pretty comfortably wide of Adam Deboir's goal.
Yeah, no danger there for Adam Deboir. Like you say, the shot goes wide, but Maidstone United just looking to try and start this second half as quickly as they can to get themselves back on level terms.
Bloomfield channeling his inner Cheslin Colby there with the charge down.
So we have played 5 minutes at the start of the second half. It is still Hampton Richmond 3, Maidstone United 2. Bloomfield getting 2 of those goals, while Fernandez getting the other one. Now Dan Wishart has been penalised.
Softer. I think that was a little bit soft. I mean, that was a bit 50-50. Some days that's given, some days it's not.
Yeah, it was Matt Rush who went down following that challenge by Dan Wishart. And Maidstone are in possession. As I say that, well, they did lose it, but they've got it back. It's with Wanjao Smith, plays it back to Gurung. He crosses it in from the left. It's a bit too deep, but Reynolds is there to claim it. His pass back to Coleman Graft is cleared away by Rory Donaldson. Throw in to the away side. It's at the feet of Rafe Brown. He plays it back to Fowler, who clips it out to Sam Bone. Now here's Brown, looking to make his way into Hampton Richmond's half, and well, his attempted ball down the line was not executed out how he would have wanted it, so it's a throw in to Hampton and Richmond, deep into the Hampton and Richmond half. It's left back Dan Wishart, who's got his hand on the ball. He's got the likes of Bloomfield and Donaldson in support. Bloomfield did win the flick on. Hampton Richmond have themselves a throw-in just inside the Maidstone half. And Drury Donaldson has just been told to take a couple of steps back by the referee.
Rob Hall and Alfie Whittingham just going for a nice little jog on the touchline here, so we could possibly see some new additions very soon.
Hunt and Gurung going for a 50-50 there. Gurung coming out just a little bit better. Now Reynolds is looking to peel away from Pitblado. He's got goal side of him. Good skill by Reynolds. He might take a shot in. Great block by Pitblado. And now the shot's taken from the distance. It's deflected just wide of goal. I think it's Pitblado who managed to get the block in. And Deboir had already dived over to his right, and the ball was just wide of the left post. A slight let-off there for Hampton and Richmond.
But excellent defending though from Isaac Pitblado, just with the first initial block there, and then the second attempts at goal going out for a corner. Hampton Richmond got a switch on here to defend this set piece.
Yeah, it's a corner on the right-hand side. It will be taken by Devonte Aransibia. He'll swing in with his left foot, and he does that. headed away by Bloomfield.